Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 Origin Continent based on novel. So let's start. Even a secret treasure worth tens of thousands of reward points is quite good, Emperor Qing said with a smile. By the way, those few secret treasures left by Emperor Yuan after his death, are they difficult to sell? It is indeed difficult to sell. I barely managed to sell 2 out of the 5, Luo Feng said with a wave of his hand. The remaining red cloak, combat boots, and gloves, these 3 secret treasures, appeared. Sold the 2 more valuable ones, and the remaining 3 are the most ordinary, Emperor Qing observed. 3 early-stage Divine Emperor secret treasures. How about this? My flame-wind ancient country will buy them back. For a total of 10,000 primordial crystals. 1 primordial crystal exchanges for 1 million merit points, at the guest elder level of the 2 great ancient countries. 10,000 primordial crystals amount to 10 billion merit points. This is a massive amount of merit that even common second realm godly kings would look up to, and even emperors and monarchs would find it extremely difficult to amass such a grand amount. Alright, Luo Feng nodded with a smile. With a swoosh, Emperor Qing waved his hand, and a pile of dazzling primordial crystals floated to the side. Luo Feng's eyes lit up, each primordial crystal about the size of a fingertip, each round and emitting a natural aura that made Luo Feng have an urge to absorb them. Primordial crystals are the universal currency beyond the source world, Emperor Qing explained. They are refined from the essence of endless primordial force, by primordial life, that has escaped the braided cage. Each is made so small to facilitate our transactions. Luo Feng waved his hand and collected the stack of primordial crystals, but left 3 in his hand to feel them carefully. Primordial crystals are beneficial for cultivation, for all life within the braided cage, Emperor Qing said. Universal currency. Luo Feng understood as he carefully examined the 3 primordial crystals in his palm. Absorbing them is beneficial for cultivation. But moderation is necessary, Emperor Qing said, with early-stage Divine Emperor strength, no more than 100 crystals should be absorbed per epoch. If the number absorbed is too large, the effect will diminish, and it might even become completely ineffective. Each cultivator has different physical and soul strengths, so the optimal quota also varies. This requires you to slowly explore during your cultivation. In any case, once the effect starts to decline, you must immediately reduce the quantity, Emperor Qing advised. As long as you maintain a lower quantity, the effect of the primordial crystals will always be good. Until you escape the braided cage, you can keep using them. Luo Feng exclaimed in admiration, indeed magical. Primordial crystals can be used by ordinary, guest elders of the 2 great ancient countries. Even divine emperors can use them. Indeed, it is a very versatile treasure. Brother Galaxy, if the secret technique is created and everything is ready, notify me anytime, Emperor Qing handed Luo Feng a token. When the time comes, crush the token, and I will sense it immediately. Other emperors of the flame-wind ancient country also have only transmission tokens to contact Emperor Qing, and Emperor Qing does not check them when he is in seclusion. But this token to Luo Feng, Emperor Qing will sense immediately. Alright, once everything is prepared, and when it's time to leave the land of origin, I will definitely notify Brother Emperor Qing, Luo Feng happily promised. Emperor Qing smiled and nodded, then immediately stepped away and left. In the flame-wind ancient country, Qingju, Emperor Qing Palace. Emperor Di Fu, Emperor Di Yang, Emperor Di Jiufeng, Emperor Di Chu, and a total of 11 emperors, either their true bodies or forms, had already gathered here. Emperor Qing and the Galaxy Ruler's battle. The Galaxy Ruler finally released a 9-story tower, defeating Emperor Qing. These emperors were somewhat anxious. The greatest confidence of the flame-wind ancient country has always been the primogenitor Yang Feng and Emperor Qing. In the land of origin, due to the limitations on power, the difference between Emperor Qing and primogenitor Yang Feng is not that big. With a sigh, Emperor Qing appeared on the throne inside the Great Hall. Emperor Qing. All 11 emperors turned to look at Emperor Qing. Emperor Qing looked at his kin, frowned and shook his head. This galaxy ruler is extremely powerful. He also possesses a very powerful secret treasure. With that tower-type treasure, I couldn't defeat him. The 11 emperors were bewildered. Emperor Qing couldn't defeat him. The power limitations of the land of origin, even if the ancestor made a move, he would need powerful secret treasures to suppress the galaxy ruler. Emperor Qing shook his head, to suppress him, yet also unable to injure him. The foundation of this galaxy ruler is established. Emperor Qing gently shook his head then disappeared, leaving the 11 emperors looking at each other in dismay. The ancestor made a move, with the aid of a secret treasure, yet couldn't injure this galaxy ruler. Emperor Di Yang felt disheartened. Emperor Di Fu sighed, we emperors are also helpless against the Thunder Ancestor, or the East Extreme Domain Ancestor. Now there's just one more galaxy ruler, that's all. It seems, the vengeance for Emperor Yuan can only be endured, Emperor Di Kong lamented from the side. Emperor Di Kong, don't take pleasure in the misfortune, Emperor Di Yang rebuked from the side. I am speaking the truth, do you dare to take revenge? Emperor Di Kong sneered, and with a step, he too had left. They are leaving, another ancestor-level existence, Emperor Di Chu, Emperor Di Jiufeng, and others also departed one after another. Emperor Di Fu, however, was quite troubled. This galaxy ruler is so strong, with a secret treasure in hand, he can even suppress Emperor Qing. Is he really Luo He? Emperor Di Fu was not so confident at this moment, with such strength, would he leave the land of origin with me? Companions are chosen by each other. He chose the other. But the other must see value in him, Emperor Di Fu. With such a huge difference in strength, the galaxy ruler probably wouldn't care about him. In cultivation, after all, it depends on oneself. One must be strong enough, Emperor Di Fu thought to himself, I must find a way to reach the ultimate realm. His formation skill was extremely profound, only a thin barrier away from the ultimate realm, yet he just couldn't break through. Emperor Di Fu was also distressed. Emperor Qing has finally taken action, seeking revenge for Emperor Yuan. The power of Emperor Qing and the galaxy ruler is terrifying. Did Emperor Qing lose? Was that 9-story tower the one that defeated Emperor Qing? Those with a bit of insight could tell that in this clash, Emperor Qing had been bested. This shocked them. In the land of origin, there is a consensus. If the ancestors of the two countries do not act, Emperor Qing is invincible. This time, with the galaxy ruler wielding the 9-story tower, he actually overwhelmed Emperor Qing. In our Thunder ancient country, apart from the ancestor, there are no beings above godly king. We need to be more cautious from now on. The monarchs of the Thunder ancient country were even more anxious than those of the Flame Wind ancient country. Isn't this the star tower I refined? Mountain sitting guest, observing through the recordings of the Thunderclap commerce, clearly saw the entire battle between Emperor Qing and Luo Feng and witnessed the emergence of the Star Tower at the end. Star Tower, a first realm of Godly King's secret treasure, was actually able to defeat Emperor Qing. Mountain sitting guest was stupefied. It seems that when I originally refined the Star Tower, that strand of golden light that merged into it was quite special, Mountain sitting guest thought. With his abilities, he was extremely careful during the artifact refining process, not daring to allow any imperfections in the materials he used. Yet, a strand of golden light ignored his formations and his domain, directly merging into the Star Tower. Mountain sitting guest sensed something was off at that time. Originally, after the golden light merged during the refining of the Star Tower, the Star Tower quickly took shape. From what he could see at that time, it indeed was a first realm of godly king's secret treasure. He could not see the true nature of the Star Tower. The process of recognizing the master of the Star Tower was also much more difficult than mountain-sitting guest had anticipated. It was only Luo Feng, on the brink of life and death, who gained recognition from the Star Tower. A good treasure also needs a suitable master. See a thnovelfire.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. In the hands of Luo Feng, the Star Tower can truly unleash its power. Mountain-sitting guest felt quite emotional, being the refiner and a being at the first realm of godly king himself. He couldn't even discern the true mysteries of the Star Tower. Yet, mountain-sitting guest only felt happy. Happy for his disciple. After avenging a deep vengeance, mountain-sitting guest felt incredibly peaceful inside. Now, his primary concern was his disciple, Luo Feng. The more luminous his disciple became, the happier he naturally felt. From Earth, this little guy has imperceptibly stood at the pinnacle of the land of origin, mountain-sitting guest thought, and smiled. Huyang City owner's mansion, quiet room. Luo Feng was in closed-door cultivation here, leaving the affairs of the galaxy divine country mainly to Morosa, although at critical moments, one thought from him could reach the galaxy divine country. This sparring, Emperor Qing intentionally let me win. Luo Feng understood this point. From beginning to end, Emperor Qing only used one array, the 3000 kill array, and did not use any other powerful methods, or any secret treasures. A being above godly king, wandering outside the source world for prolonged years, without any life-risking tactics. In his hometown, doesn't he have a single secret treasure? If really sparing no expense, whether I could have the upper hand is still hard to say. My secret treasures might have the advantage, but Emperor Qing's realm is higher than mine. Using some treasures at the late or perfect level of divine emperor might be able to contend with the Star Tower. In the land of origin, the power is limited. Myself, Emperor Qing, the ancestors of the two nations. Even if one gains the upper hand, it's hard to significantly affect the others. But outside the land of origin, the gap becomes significant. Luo Feng was very clear. His so-called invincibility was due to taking advantage of the supreme rules that limited power in the land of origin. Let's practice diligently. I at least need to reach the ultimate realm. Luo Feng flipped his hand, and a primordial crystal appeared in his palm. This finger-sized, smooth, stone-like treasure was swallowed by Luo Feng in one gulp. Primordial crystal, upon entering the body, began to be slowly absorbed. Primordial crystal, the essence of refined primordial force, should be beneficial as long as one hasn't become primordial life. At this moment Luo Feng's physical body was nourished, his spirit was also nourished, and his thoughts were processing several times faster. His comprehension also seemed to be improving. It even has effects of strengthening my physical body and empowering my spirit, Luo Feng exclaimed. Primordial crystal, at an extremely slow pace, was fortifying his physical body, spirit. In theory, with an infinite amount of primordial crystal and infinite time, one could strengthen the physical body, spirit to an extremely terrifying state. Unfortunately, the amount of primordial crystals one can consume in one epoch is limited. Consuming too much, the effectiveness reduces, and can become ineffective. Normally, the higher the life level, the weaker the nurturing effect of treasures. But primordial crystal continues to be effective. Luo Feng closed his eyes, began to focus on understanding the materials of the three ultimate realm strength primordial bloodline creatures he had acquired. Time also continued to flow in the cultivation. Since the sparring with Emperor Qing, no one from the land of origin has challenged the galaxy divine country again. The galaxy ruler now stands alongside the two country ancestors, the East Extreme Domain Ancestor, and Emperor Qing. And since the Galaxy Emperor abhors evil, it also made the old beings of the land of origin no longer dare to act recklessly. At least devouring billions of creatures, this kind of thing vanished for a short period. In an instant, 300 epochs had passed since the establishment of the Galaxy Divine Country. That day, an inconspicuous event occurred. Elder Yuan of the Blade River sect had a breakthrough, becoming a godly king. A tavern within Huyang City, on the upper floor of a small building, Hong sat alone, sipping fine wine and enjoying delicious food. It is only after coming to the land of origin that one realizes there are heavens beyond our heaven, and understands how insignificant one is, Hong mused with a smile as he watched the numerous cultivators outside the window, each controlling various kinds of flying treasures. In his homeland, the primordial cosmos region, not counting the primordial ancestor and giant axe, Hong was the 23rd true god among the human clan, and he even attained true godhood a bit faster than Luo Feng. Of course, Luo Feng had intentionally remained at the universe master stage for a long time to pursue a higher level of godly body, and in the end, he achieved the perfect divine body. But Hong's talent was still incredibly dazzling within the human clan. Many predecessors, who seemed to have become true gods earlier than Hong, had actually been cultivating for far longer than him. Aside from Luo Feng and the primordial ancestor, there are already 11 from the human clan, who have come to the land of origin through the cycle of reincarnation, and I am the 11th, said Hong, who had not long arrived at the land of origin, and found everything fresh and novel. The bustling Huyang city, the various races of life, the different schools of thought, all were places worth exploring for him. True gods of void space, eternal true gods, primal chaos overlords, godly kings. Hong thought, moreover, godly kings are further divided into 3 realms, and the emperors and monarchs of the 2 ancient countries are comparable to the ultimate realm of God King. Above the ultimate realm of God King are the country ancestors, the East Extreme Domain Ancestor, Emperor Qing, and the Galaxy Ruler. Younger brother, have you really reached this step? Hong felt his blood boiling with excitement. The many forces of the land of origin were not clear, but Hong, Peng Gong, Primal Chaos City Lord, the Primordial Ancestor, and other strong practitioners of the human clan were very well aware that the Galaxy Ruler was Luo Feng. In their homeland, Luo Feng was called the ancestral god of the galaxy. My younger brother came to the land of origin, and is already above godly king. Hong was profoundly shocked. Back when he was still a universe master, he was invincible across the entire universe ocean. After becoming a true god, he resolved the sector beast calamity. Given such a harsh cultivation environment in the universe ocean, he managed to become an eternal true god. Upon coming to the land of origin, he soared to new heights. Hong sighed with emotion. He had witnessed Luo Feng's growth from weakness, step by step. In the beginning, he was the headmaster of the Extreme Martial Arts Hall. Luo Feng was just a naive warrior. Later on, Luo Feng grew step by step, even aiding him, and aiding the Thunder Lord. Hong knew that being able to become a true god of void space in the harsh cultivation environment of the primordial cosmos region, and breaking through to the land of origin, the main reason was Luo Feng's help. Without Luo Feng, the primordial ancestor would probably never have been released. Among the entire human clan able to break through by themselves, perhaps only the primal chaos city lord had a slight chance. Hong, in terms of innate comprehension, couldn't even rank in the top 5 among the human clan. Since coming to the land of origin, I've realized that great masters are like clouds, he thought. Talents from the native land of origin, countless geniuses nurtured by small universes, and the geniuses from 3,000 primordial cosmoses who have broken through the cycle. Hong reflected, compared to them, I am much more mediocre. Any of the human clan who could break through to the land of origin, Luo Feng had prepared the highest standard of cultivation resources for them, so their cultivation went very smoothly. But Hong, Peng Gong, Dark, and the others, they all understood. In their homeland, their talents were extraordinary. In the land of origin, they struggled to become eternal true gods. Hong suddenly received a transmission, and upon seeing it, he couldn't help but show a look of joy. The primordial ancestor has become a godly king. Hong was quite excited. It was only after coming to the land of origin that one could see the disparity in natural talent. The primordial ancestor's talent was far above that of other human strong practitioners. Hong immediately stood up. Divine Monarch, is the food to your satisfaction? The attendant outside the small building was incredibly respectful. Hong's strength was nothing noteworthy within Huyang City, but as a core disciple of the Blade River sect, the merchants of Huyang City dared not neglect him. Hong casually paid the bill, and with a wave of his hand, he steered the flying boat and swiftly headed straight for the Blade River sect headquarters. Discover hidden tales at my virtual library empire. At the Blade River sect headquarters, in the cave mansion where the primordial ancestor was located. Strong practitioners from the human clan were continuously arriving at this moment. Young brother Hong, you've arrived. Longxing. Hong was naturally very familiar with this group of strong practitioners from the human clan, greeting each one by one. They were undoubtedly the closest-knit group in the land of origin. Fire Dome. Hong smiled at a young man with red hair. Master Uncle, Fire Dome replied with a smile. Fire Dome, as Luo Feng's second disciple in the primordial cosmos region, and the one with the highest talent among his disciples, should be considered the senior brother to Moyu Qingyang and Xinyu. However, given that Fire Dome was only a true god of void space, he was not yet influential enough, and therefore currently just a core disciple of the sect. See a thnovelfire.net * website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. As they were conversing and laughing, three figures walked in simultaneously: the primordial ancestor, Morosa, and Luo Feng. Immediately, everyone in the room fell silent. The word outside is that under the command of the galaxy ruler, there is an old servant who is an ultimate realm beast. It should be Elder Luo Sa, they murmured. Luo Feng has been in seclusion recently, and has not been seeing any visitors. But when we came to the land of origin, it was Luo Feng himself who guided us. Human powerhouses gathered, and the conversation would also turn to Luo Feng and Morosa. The galaxy ruler and the ultimate realm beast attendant were indeed a bit too stimulating for human powerhouses. They actually had what could be called the thickest thighs to cling to. Having cultivated in the land of origin for 800 epochs, I have finally become a godly king, the primordial ancestor said with a smile as he looked around at his companions. Of course, my becoming a godly king was greatly thanks to Luo Feng's assistance. Resources alone won't make one a godly king. Talent and comprehension are even more important, Luo Feng commented with a smile at his side. Among the 11 strong human beings who came later, only the primal Chaos City Lord became an eternal true god. The rest were merely true gods of void space. This revealed the gap in potential. Becoming a godly king of the first realm, I felt it was quite difficult, and I encountered many puzzles. The primordial ancestor shook his head. The path of cultivation is truly getting more and more challenging. The human powerhouses were all listening at the side. You all are nominally of my lineage, the primordial ancestor looked at the human powerhouses. Now that I have become a godly king, I can arrange some official positions for you. Assigning you some positions now, there won't be any objections within the Blade River sect. Having become a godly king, the primordial ancestor's status within the Blade River sect naturally rose greatly. Cultivation is not just about seclusion and comprehension. Taking on official duties, dealing with affairs, and interacting more with other powerhouses is also beneficial to your cultivation, the primordial ancestor said. Yes. The group of human powerhouses all responded. Luo Feng's gaze fell on Fire Dome, and he asked with a smile, "Fire Dome, you've been in the land of origin for over a century now. How is your cultivation progressing?" "I am still lacking some accumulation to reach eternal true God," Fire Dome replied respectfully. "Concentrate on your cultivation. Once you become an eternal true God, then I can publicly take you as a registered disciple. When you reach the primal chaos realm, I can publicly accept you as a direct disciple." Luo Feng looked forward to his disciple with anticipation. Being weak, if forcefully chosen as a registered disciple, or a direct disciple, it would be harmful rather than beneficial to Fire Dome. Currently, as an ordinary core disciple, Fire Dome lacks nothing in terms of resources, and Luo Feng would even personally give guidance. "Disciple understands," Fire Dome replied. Seeing this, the Primordial Ancestor also laughed and said, "If any of you have any confusion regarding cultivation, feel free to speak up. Elder Luo Sa, Luo Feng, and I can all give you guidance." The human powerhouses were overjoyed and began to ask questions one by one. The Primordial Ancestor, Luo Feng, and Morosa would answer in detail based on their own expertise. Since their questions were generally related to the stages of True God of Void Space and Eternal True God, it was easy to see the differences between Luo Feng, the Primordial Ancestor, and Morosa. Luo Feng's foundation was the most solid. Having a special grade inheritance, creating high realm secret techniques time and again at a low realm, his understanding of the fundamentals was profoundly deep. Finally, the gathering dispersed, leaving only Luo Feng and the Primordial Ancestor. "Listening to your teachings, I have gained a lot," the Primordial Ancestor remarked emotionally. "In terms of fundamentals, I can't compare to you. I have obtained several special grade inheritances by chance in the infinite space. It's under the guidance of these special grade inheritances that my foundation has been hammered solid," Luo Feng smiled. "Primordial Ancestor, I also have a gift prepared for you." "Oh," the Primordial Ancestor was surprised. Luo Feng flipped his hand and took out a silver token. "This is a token to the treasured land Infinite Space," Luo Feng smiled. "Not long ago, I discovered this token within the bounds of my galaxy Divine Country. Infinite Space tokens appear randomly on the land of origin. The wider the territory, the easier it is to come across such treasures." Infinite Space Token. The Primordial Ancestor showed a look of surprise, as his status and position allowed him to peruse many of the Blade River sect's secret reports, so he naturally knew information about various treasured lands on the land of origin. The Infinite Space values spiritual will and the opening of new great Tao the most. "Primordial Ancestor, you are cultivating both the real and illusion paths," Luo Feng said. "The real world has accurate origin Tao of the world as a reference. But the virtual world doesn't have this great Tao. On the entire land of origin, perhaps only the treasure trove of infinite space may have some inheritances that could help you. Luo Feng, you have helped me too much." The Primordial Ancestor was quite grateful. Initially, Luo Feng had to try everything for an opportunity, but now he could easily pave the way for the Primordial Ancestor. "In terms of nurturing human powerhouses, my energy is limited. I often need the Primordial Ancestor to put more thought into it," Luo Feng said. "For me, and for the entire human clan, the stronger your power, the better." The Primordial Ancestor looked at the token, feeling a fervent warmth in his heart. He became a godly king by figuring out a branch of the origin Tao of the world. After all, with a detailed reference, breaking through is much easier. The path of illusion, the Primordial Ancestor encountered too many obstacles. Now, even which branches exist on the path of illusion confused him. "This is a map of infinite space." Luo Feng waved his hand, and a stream of light flew towards the Primordial Ancestor. "It also marks my current location. After you arrive in infinite space, you can quickly meet up with me." The native creatures of infinite space, with various forces contending. I have already enveloped 12 native creatures with my spiritual will, which I can hand over to you, Luo Feng said. Good. The primordial ancestor held the token firmly, and immediately with one thought, he used the token to send a wisp of consciousness remotely towards infinite space. Luo Feng was quite expectant. In his view, since the primordial ancestor was researching the path of illusion, his spiritual will should also be outstanding. Opening up a new path would also gain the rewards of infinite space. With infinite space, the primordial ancestor should be able to go even further, Luo Feng thought. He has helped as much as he could, but ultimately, the achievements of a cultivator must rely on oneself. This video will end here.